Across Canada Road Trip Week 4, Day 24, Thursday, July 18th. This morning we had a slow start again with Phase 10 and Crib on this rainy morning. We had brunch and then drove to Green Gables Heritage Place. Daniela's in the process of reading the 8-book series, so she especially enjoyed the house and artifacts and walking the haunted woods and Lover's Lane. Drank raspberry cordial and learned about Lucy Maud Montgomery. It was a lovely afternoon. Went to a glow-in-the-dark mini golf course and played 18 holes, boys versus girls, and it was super fun. I got a couple hole-in-ones if I remember correctly. We worked up an appetite, so we went to New Glasgow lobster suppers. The homemade buns were delicious. We had clam chowder and PEI potato salad. The table shared a bucket of mussels, which Daniela really liked. But drink as you didn't.
It's been chewy, right?
Look at me.
Hold your napkin.
I'm gonna eat it. It's my first one.
We wore bibs to eat our lobsters, and Daniela said she had never had such fresh salmon. The fresh pies for dessert were scrumptious. We were stuffed when we drove back to the campground for our last night's sleep in PEI. Day 25, Friday, July 19th. This morning we got packed up fairly quickly and drove back towards the Confederation Bridge. We stopped at Cal's Ice Cream for breakfast as a surprise for them.
Cal's ice cream for breakfast.
Woohoo!
We continued en route for the Cabot Trail on Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia. We stopped at Ishkaban Falls, and it's a very strange spelling, but I think that's how you say it. It was a short 3-kilometer round trip hike and the falls were beautiful. We were in our swimsuits, so we went for a swim to cool off. Our campsite was right on the ocean, Chris's favorite, though it was very large smooth rocks and not sand. We enjoyed a campfire on the beach and Reese's s'mores before bed. Day 26, Saturday, July 20th. Today we set off in hopes of finding another waterfall hike, but we couldn't find the turn and instead came across a glass blowing demonstration and shop. We watched the artist named Meravi make a few vases and a starfish. The kids and adults were mesmerized. We continued driving the Cabot Trail and enjoyed the beautiful coastal scenery. We stopped at Cavendish Beach and it felt like we were in Mexico. The sand was so soft and the water was super clear. Chris and Daniela went on the paddleboard for a bit, and the kids had so much fun body surfing and riding the waves in. Just past the beach, we did a hike called Middlehead, which we thought would be 3.8 kilometers, but with an extra bit to go out to the point and back, it was more than 5. And the views were beautiful as you walk on the peninsula between 2 bays. We even saw a seal in the water too. dragged to walk back as we started too late and everyone was hungry for dinner, but we did it. We camped at the Hideaway Campground on the northeast corner. That hike, the kids say, was their least favorite, just for the record. It was beautiful, just bad circumstance. Day 27, Sunday, July 21st. This morning, Daniela couldn't put any weight on her foot, identical to how she broke her ankle last summer. We drove to Beulah Falls. Online it said that the falls are right beside the parking lot, but unfortunately they don't allow any trailers or motorhomes down to the parking lot. So we popped our bicycles off, and Chris, Drew, Kezia, Lynn, and I rode the 2 kilometers to the falls. Rob and Daniela stayed back and played cards. Next, we drove to the Skyline Trailhead. Chris and Daniela waited while the rest of us did the hike. It was about 3 kilometers each way and led to a beautiful coastal lookout point. We continued driving to Inverness. Chris dropped Daniela and I at the hospital to get her ankle looked at, and the rest of the gang went to the Inverness beach and found tons of sea glass. We waited 7 hours. They didn't have a caster boot or crutches, so we decided to sleep the night and figure out the rest tomorrow. Day 28, July 22nd. This morning, Chris and Drew played soccer and disc golf while I sourced a boot and crutches for Daniela. We drove to Antigonish and got the goods. And shout out to Uncle Brad, that's where he went to school. We continued on to a campground called Weber's on Lake Charlotte, one of the largest lakes in Nova Scotia. We had pasta for dinner and then took out some pedal boats. Daniela's doing well navigating crutches again. She's just very disappointed to miss out on some fun stuff happening for the rest of the trip. Day 29, Tuesday, July 23rd. Today we drove to Martinique Beach, the longest beach in Nova Scotia. Rob, Chris, Drew, Kezia, and I rented wetsuits and surfboards. We had a lesson for an hour and then spent the rest of the time catching waves ourselves. Rob did absolutely amazing considering it was his very first time. I hope I can still try brand new things and look so cool to me when I'm his age. Kezia didn't last long in the freezing cold water. Drew showed us all up and rode every wave that we tried to get.
Oh, they're doing it!
After a shower, we drove towards Halifax for our last supper together. After dropping Rob and Lynn off at the airport, we drove 2 more hours to Moncton. Day 30, Wednesday, July 24th. Today we went to Magnetic Hill in Moncton. We all thought the illusion of rolling uphill was pretty neat.
We're in neutral, and what happens?
Oh my gosh, we're moving. Lift your feet up.
My feet are up. Oh my goodness. We're going, how are we going up the hill? We're going up the hill. It's crazy. It's crazy. Ah! Ah! Kezia! Kezia! Ah!
Lost control.
Up, 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 up,
weird.
up, up,
Is it something
up.
that's like
So
a dirt race
retro.
We had a big driving day to get outside of Quebec City. Drew and Kezia went in the pool with Chris. We did some laundry, and Chris and I had a campfire after the kids went to bed.